Today we've got Kiss review, Peter Criss from 1978. 10 songs, about 35 minutes. Was released on September 18th, 1978. Produced by Vinny Poncia. And I'll give you the same background as before. This is after Love Gun and after Alive 2. And there are some cracks in the foundation of Kiss. And we see it because we learn that Bob Kulick is the lead guitarist on some of the Kiss Alive 2 songs. And Phantom of the Park didn't go so well, and it's a big misstep for the band. And Ace wants to leave the band, and he wants to make a solo record. And so what did they decide? They decide they'll all make a solo record. And they released the 4 solo records on the same day. And all of this is before Unmasked and Dynasty. Dynasty first, then Unmasked, and then Music from the Elder. And I can't recall in the timeline where Peter Criss starts to cause issues, but it's right around in this pocket, this sweet spot. And Paul Stanley figured out that he couldn't make the Kiss drums sound like John Bonham, and that had become a source of irritation. I think he told that story during the Love Gun. It could be Rock and Roll Over or Love Gun. But we know that Peter allegedly can't read music, can't play other instruments other than the drums, so he relies on others like Stan Pendridge, who has 6 writing credits on this album, and we know he deliberately speeds up and slows down tempos during live shows just to agitate the band. And so this is all in the background, and he throws his drums and all that stuff. But that's a different topic from this album. Let's look at the album here. Album cover by Eraldo Carugati. Of course, we know that he did all these for the solo albums. It's a painting, and Peter's color is green. See the green hue in the background? And they'll keep their colors over the year, like Ace's is blue, and Dynasty is green for Peter. And on especially on the Asylum album cover, you can see Peter's eye shadow is green. And also on the Asylum cover, where Eric Carr, who's the new drummer, he's green. He's got green lips, I think. Stuff like that. Okay, what is this? This sounds like Americana blues. It seems like Peter Criss stepped off the Kiss elevator and walked into a cigar-filled blues hall. And you have templates for 2 kinds of songs here. You have the schmupsy ballad that mimics the style and feel of Beth. And then you have the Americana blues, like the watered down blues in the style of John Cougar Mellencamp or Delbert McClinton, except that on this, it's so watered down and uninteresting that it doesn't grab the listener's attention span the same way Mellencamp and Delbert does. Now you might like this. It's not really my cup of tea. It's not it's not terrible. It certainly sounds professional, and I think they did a good job doing what they did with what they had to work with. And by count, it's 4 of those ballads, and then 6 of the Americana-style blues rockers, a la Mellencamp, or I wouldn't want to say the band, or because that's a little bit that now you're starting to get a little bit more country, but you know what I mean. Here, I won't drink water. The bigger thing is not what's on this album, but what's lacking. Okay, so what's missing from this record? It doesn't sound like a Kiss record. There's no metal. There's no hard rock. There's no funny takes or funny jokes like on a Gene song, or there's no outlandish material. And so yeah, like it's not Kiss. It's more like a watered down blues for the most part. And that's what Peter Criss likes. It's not quite country, and it's not quite straight 12-bar blues, but that's how else could you describe it? It's unsophisticated song arrangements. There's verses. Every song has verses. Some song have choruses. Some song have bridges. Some song have both. And then there's an occasional guitar solo on this, and it's just that repeat. A lot of it is an AABA. Some of it is verse, chorus, verse, chorus. Some of it is verse, chorus, bridge. which for you got to think about what that means in context of history of rock and roll. It's like for a Beatles song, that would be a complex song. For this, it's just like, I guess, deviation, or just simply verse, chorus, verse, chorus. So, and what's the last point I make before I get into the songs? Lastly, these songs are mostly not tuned down a half step, and which that was a Kiss signature on all of on their first 6 studio albums, right from the debut album right up until Love Gun. Many and most of the tracks are tuned down a half step. Well, you can see that Ace did that on a solo record, but Gene not so much. Well, same for this. In fact, I don't think any of these. One song is in F sharp, but the rest of them are all standard tuning. And there's one song in a minor key, so that's it. The first 2 songs are in E. Track 1 is I'm Gonna Love You. It's 3 minutes and 18 seconds. It's written by Peter Criss and Pendridge, that's his writing partner in his previous band called Lips. It's an Americana blues rock song. It's in E at 125 beats per minute. It's verse, refrain, guitar solo, verse, outro. The verses are 16 bars. The refrain is 4 bars. And the guitar solo runs from 1 minute 32 seconds to 1 minute 53 seconds, which is like 21 seconds. It's like 10 bars. And then a 1 bar setup to the next verse. The outro is basically half of a verse in the refrain. That's really what all these songs sound like. I wanted to mention at the top, Peter's he's got a good singing voice, and on most of these songs that really comes through. And it's even like when he sings the chorus or the refrain, I'm gonna love you. He's got a good voice, strong. The main band for this song, I mean, Peter Criss is the lead vocalist on every song, and he's the drummer on most of the songs, not every song. The other drummer is a guy named Alan Schwartzberg. The bass guitar on most of the tracks is Bill Bodine, and then Art Munson is guitars along with Stan Penrich. And I think those are the Lip songs. There are other musicians that pop in and out. There's a keyboard player named Bill Cuomo. He's on most of the songs, on the Penridge songs. And there's a lot of background vocalists too. Let's go to the next track. Track 2 is You Matter to Me. It's 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Written by Vinnie Poncia, John Vastano, and Michael Morgan. Vinnie being the producer of this album. This song has a nice organ part and a synth in it. And it's one of the singles. There are 2 singles for this album, and it's another Americana blues rock, but it's straddling the genre of yacht rock because it's kind of like a you matter to me. Da, 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 da. That's kind of what it does. It's in the key of E, again, 120 beats. It's a intro, verse, chorus, intro, verse, chorus, intro, verse, chorus, outro. Real pop oriented, and at 3 minutes and 15 seconds, it's a pop song. The verse is 8 bars. The chorus is 8 bars. Because you matter to me, and that's why. And then the outro starts at 2:19. Track 3 is Tossin' and Turnin'. It's 3 minutes and 58 seconds. It's written by someone named Richie Adams and Malou Renee. It's a cover by Bobby Lewis. The original version by Bobby went to number 1 in 1961 for 7 weeks. This is a big hit. And I think it's the most interesting song on the album. The song has the background vocals, the girls singing, Maxine Waters, Julia Waters, Maxine Dixon, and the song arrangement, verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, a sax solo, another bridge, verse, chorus, outro. It's Americana blues. Again, it's sort of been like where the Bobby Lewis version is pretty poppy. This has like got the pop metal glam added to it. It's in C and it's 126 beats per minute. The verse is 8 bars and the chorus is 8 bars and the bridge is 8 bars and the sax solo runs from 153 to 205. It's 8 bars. It sounds like the Saturday Night Live saxophone, but it's played by a guy named Michael Carnahan. He does some other sax on this album too. The outro starts at 2:53 and runs to the end. But the chorus, tossing and turning, da 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 da. That's the song. Track 4 is Don't You Let Me Down. It's 3 minutes and 38 seconds. This is a schmupsy ballad, and it was a single. So there's a rock single, and then this is the ballad single. It's in the key of A 115. It's a verse, bridge, outro. And the verse is 16 bars, and the bridge is 16 bars, and the outro is 2:55 to the end. So about 42 seconds of outro. That's the song. Not much to report. Track 5 is That's the Kind of Sugar Papa Likes. It's 2 minutes and 58 seconds. It's another one of the Americana rock blues songs. This song has a low key and like a bass sound to it, like a low bass, and it's kind of a muddy. Not that it's muddy like you can't hear it, but it's just kind of got it's in the key of G minor. It's 130 beats per minute. Verse, chorus, guitar solo, chorus, outro. The verses are 8 bars, the choruses are 8 bars, and the guitar solo runs from 114 to 136. It's an 8 bar. It's played by Steve Lukather from Toto. Pretty tame when you're used to hearing Ace Frehley soaring Kiss solos, but Steve does better on another song later on in the album. It's the outro is 2:10 to the end. That's the kind of sugar pop. That's the kind of sugar Papa likes. I mean, that's the song. Track 6 is Easy Thing. It's 3 minutes and 53 seconds. It's kind of like real flimsy and soft. Arpeggiated guitars in the intro and the verses, and then big strings in the bridges and the outro. So it's like a sort of like a dynamic song. And Peter shows really good range in his voice. And I should say those things I said at the beginning, those are just facts. So I'm not trying to run down Peter or say I don't like Peter Criss or say bad things about Peter. I'm just stating the facts. And he did cause some of the friction in the band. Ace caused some of it. I'm sure Paul and Gene are guilty too. But we know what some of their antics are, and that's all I'm saying. This Easy Thing is in D. It's 120 beats per minute. Verse, bridge, outro. I mean, that's an AABA song. That's what it is. It's just missing a couple of verses, and then it would really be. The verses are 16 bars. The bridge is 16 bars, and the bridge is when the song kind of like turns tough and mean, and the strings are really prominent. And it's sort of like the verses are soft, and then the bridge really builds up. So that's Easy Thing. The outro features the girls singing behind Peter. Starts at about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Track 7 is Rock Me Baby. It's 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Written by Sean Delaney. He is the co-producer of Gene's solo album. I happen to have it right here. This one, and it's another Americana blues song with the piano. Like imagine a Delbert McClinton song, with the big pianos at the beginning, and this one also has horns blasting in it. Sean Delaney, his contributions to Kiss shouldn't be overlooked. So not just the Gene album, but co-writing credits on Take Me, Mr. Speed, Making Love, All American Man, Rocket Ride. This is a mixture of Ace and Gene and Paul Stanley songs. So he's done a lot for Kiss. And, he was asked to do Gene's album, but also he was asked to contribute here. And Rock Me Baby, this is the song that's in F sharp, and it's 130 beats. It's one of those weird songs, like the Beatles used to do this. It starts with the chorus. So it's like chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, and then like half a bridge, chorus, solo. The solo is 4 bars, and then an outro. Okay, the chorus is 8 bars, the verse is 12 bars, and the bridge is 8 bars. And this is the one song where the verse isn't 8 or 16 bars. It's 12-bar verse. The solo runs from 1 minute and 41 seconds, and it runs for 4 bars. It's ripping solo, actually, like a where. It does that. It sounds more like an Ace solo, but it doesn't sound like Ace, but you know what I mean. The outro is from 1 minute 49. It's like right after the guitar solo, with it's got like one line from the verse and that first line, and then the chorus repeat over and over. Track 8 is "Kiss the Girl Goodbye." It's 2 minutes and 46 seconds. It's one of those schmupsy ballads, arpeggiated guitars. This is my least favorite song on the album. It is actually kind of terrible. I don't like Peter's vocals on this track. The rest of it, Peter sounds amazing, but I don't like "Kiss the Girl Goodbye." It's an A in 130 beats. The intro is the chorus, and it's the verse is 8 bars, I guess, and then the intermission that ends at it ends at 1 minute 35, and that's "Kiss the Girl Goodbye." Not too much to report, and if you know the song, you probably I don't know. I don't know even know when it would be appropriate to play the song. Track 9 is "Hooked on Rock and Roll." 3 minutes and 37 seconds. It's an Americana blues rock song. It's an A major, 130 beats. It's a verse, refrain, bridge, refrain, guitar solo, bridge, refrain, outro. The verses are 12 bars. The refrain is 4 bars as usual. I was vaccinated with a Victrola needle, hooked on rock and roll. Da-da-da. You know, it's kind of a catchy refrain, actually. The bridge is 16 bars, and the guitar solo runs from 156 to 216. It's Steve Lukather again from Toto. Better solo here. Track 10, "I Can't Stop the Rain." It's 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Another written by Sean Delaney. It's a schmupsy ballad. The worst kind of schmupsy ballad because he's whining about the weather. Jeez. I can't stop the rain. And I know it's a metaphor, but it's in the key of F at 68 beats. Real slow tempo for this album. Verse, chorus, guitar solo, verse, chorus, outro. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think there's some strings on this too. The verse is 8 bars, the chorus is 8 bars. I can't stop the rain. There's a bridge, and then there is no bridge. It's verse, chorus, and that's it. The guitar solo runs from 213 to 228. It's sort of like an 80s ballad guitar solo. And actually, this song, it does like if you gave it the 80s ballad treatment, it would be kind of like it could be like a Bryan Adams song, you know, if you gave it the big Bryan Adams ballad 80s treatment. If you catch my drift. Okay. The big summary. The sales, it reached number 43 in the U.S. Billboard charts. It went platinum right away. October 2nd, 1978, platinum in the U.S. Gold in Canada. Allmusic.com gave it 2 stars. Stephen Thomas Erlewine said, effort was one of the most, Peter Criss's effort was one of the most undistinguished of the bunch. The bunch, he means the other 3 band members, including Peter, so the 4 of them. Lacking hooks on either the pop metal rockers or the power ballads, as well as personality throughout. I think there's one pop metal rocker, so I take exception to the term pop metal rockers. Most of them are not pop metal. I think one I mentioned is pop metal. The rest of them are real, I don't want to say honky tonk, but, what... I mean, I think Adelbert, that style of music, I don't think they're power ballads. Maybe that last one, "I Can't Stop the Rain," that could be a power ballad, but they're ballads. What he's really aiming for is like, let's make more songs like Beth. I mean, which is, that's the kind of songs Peter Criss should be doing. I don't know, like what's the song on Rock and Roll Over? He should be doing those kinds of songs, and he should be doing ballads and those kind of songs that Paul Stanley writes. Anyway, Rolling Stone gave it 1 star. They didn't say anything about it. Just one measly star. You might really like this. If you're a Kiss fan, let's just put on my Kiss hat for a second. If you're a Kiss fan, you might be really disappointed in this. If you're, let's say you're a Kiss fan that really appreciates diversity in Kiss or music in general, then maybe you do. Maybe you like this a lot. Maybe you like it. By the way, I forgot to show, this is a 97 remaster. That's what the disc looks like. It's got the green font to match his green. And it's got the green story on the inside and on the back. Looks like that. And there's a poster of Peter Criss, just like I showed you the poster of Ace Frehley. This is Peter Criss. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool poster. You got the stars and the flowers and the lips. I think are those lips? Well, I don't know what that is. But yeah, every one of these came with a poster except my Gene Simmons one is a Japanese. It's like a special release, so it doesn't come with a poster. But yeah, I know it's not very popular, but he sold some copies, so I bet he made some good coin off of it. And yeah, I did a Peter Criss review. What do you guys think? What do you think, huh? It's all right. It's kind of like a rainy day kind of record. You wouldn't want to play it during a party. But, yeah. What's next on the channel? Oh, before we get into that, like, subscribe, comment, appreciate, criticize, blast, whatever you want to do. I like all of it. Next up on the channel, we'll go back to Genesis. See, I'm staggering up the Genesis ones, so I'm doing one every other one. Next up is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. It's a 2-discer, so it's going to take me a while. And I'll start on it today or tomorrow. But it'll probably be next week. So stay tuned. It's a big one. And then after that, we'll do Paul Stanley. All right? Thanks. I'm out.